We are live now.
Fantastic.
I'm going to take just a minute before we actually start the show to forward this to make sure it's streaming. It's on YouTube and Facebook. And then we will actually begin. Let's see. Remember, there's about a 30-second delay from when we're streaming till if we ask a question of somebody.
Gotcha.
And so about 30 seconds till people actually say that we're on. All right, let me share this. For some reason, I can't share it to my own timeline. Let's see. All right. All right, give me another second here. Let me go over to nobody's joined us yet, so we still have a minute.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, what time is the presidential election? That was going to, or the election?
The debate is at 9 o'clock.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. People might be cooking popcorn, getting ready for that. All right. Let's try to find. I still can't find the stream. Okay, there. All right, there we are. That took a while.
That's okay.
Okay, all right. So let's do the countdown here, and then we'll get ready to start chatting. So I haven't talked to you all day. Yeah, so we got a lot to talk about. Let me see here. All right, here we go. Hang on. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sanctuary. We're here live. I'm your host, Mary Ellen, and I'm here with Clairvoyant, psychic medium, and author, Jerry McDaniel. Welcome. And we're really glad that everybody's with us tonight. We were talking about what time the presidential debate was, and that's at 9 o'clock. So hopefully there's people online that be interested in joining us. We've got some interesting things to talk about tonight. In addition to, Jerry's going to be doing some live readings here in a little while. So do you plan to watch the presidential debate, Jerry?
Well, you know, I talked with Mary about it. We're going to start off watching it. And, you know, if Gilligan's Island repeats are on, I may switch over to that. I don't know. I'm just tired of it all. You know, I've become drained and almost numb to the noise. And however, everybody likes a good show. So
I'm not sure. Are you able to enjoy adult beverages any longer after your?
No, I'm not.
I was going to say that maybe that could be a fun game. Every time they say a certain word or phrase that maybe
like if they say taxes, take a swig.
I like that.
You may be absolutely schnockered within 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But it should be interesting. You know, I've looked at how they do the vice presidential debates. And to me, those are the best. You got a moderator and two people sitting around a table. You don't have the audience. You don't have, you know, the Hollywood type of environment. It's just two people talking about the issues, hopefully talking about the issues.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sitting down and not posturing or.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
I still remember the last one, Donald Trump circling behind Hillary Clinton while she was talking. He does know how to work it. I'll give him that.
It's like a shark circling. Oh, I remember that.
I'm not sure that they'll have an audience. I have not been paying attention.
No, I don't know about tonight. I do like the moderator, Chris Wallace. It's Mike Wallace's son, and he's on Fox. And but he is extremely fair.
Good.
To the point where this committee chose him. I mean, he pulls no punches for either side, and that's what I like about him. I think one or two of the town is going to be like a town hall with people who sit and asking questions, and there's all kinds of posturing. So who knows what's going to happen? It should be.
You said that you had watched Hamilton on the Disney Channel
multiple times.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
We saw the play back in, I think, February when it came here.
Oh, I would love to do that. One of my. What's your favorite
songs in my head? I can't get rid of.
What's your favorite song?
Look Around. I don't know if it's the name of the song, but it's when the girl plays Angelica.
I'm going to do you a favor and not sing it, but yes, I know the song.
And she is such an amazing actress and singer. She's incredible. And I like The Room Where It Happened. Now our 5-year-old grandson knows all the songs, and he jumps off of the chairs, much to our dismay. We tell her, go home to your moms and dads and jump off the chair there. Don't do it on Mimi's furniture, my wife's furniture. But he loves Hamilton. He loves. And when I went and I heard all the hullabaloo or all the hubbub, whatever the phrase is. And so I go and watch it. We go and watch it at Dr. Phillips. We've been season ticket holders for years. And I came away just blown away. I went, what a way to teach young people about the Constitution, I can't just see, if I want to look at old white people, I would just look in the mirror, okay? I mean, let's face it. Come on, this is, diversity is a way to teach, and it doesn't, the message is more important than who's giving it. And you could see some of the kids in the audience singing. And I thought, okay, they knew the words to the music already. And I just think it's a tremendous teaching tool. And I think Lin-Manuel, I can't pronounce his last name.
Miranda.
I think he is just a gift to the world. The guy is so amazing. So amazing. So anyway.
But what I got out of it was about the election, because that's the room where it happened. That's what was going on was that who was it? John Adams. They needed Hamilton on his side, and it was all about the backroom deals, the dinners, and all of that stuff that happens behind the scenes. So even though we think we know what's going on, there's so much of it is it is posturing and who's in whose corner, and it's politics. That's basically it. So
and the amazing thing about Alexander Hamilton is all what he did. He created the Coast Guard. He created. He founded the New York Post, and his name is not on. What would be Constitution, Declaration of Independence, whatever. But I mean, his name is not on there, even though he was a staunch defender of it. Wrote more than half of the Federalist Papers, and so it invites us to go back and look at our history and see how things were done.
Yeah, and it also helps me to remember that even though each election seems like it's just so bad and chaotic and ugly, that it's been going on like this since the beginning. This is what we wanted. We wanted freedom. We wanted the right to speak our mind, and this is what we got. So we can use it however we see fit. So,
did you ever see the Netflix series Mindhunter?
Oh yes, yeah.
The young guy is the guy who plays King George in Hamilton.
Yeah, and then he's also the voice of Frozen. What is it?
Yeah.
Kristoff. He's definitely very
fascinating.
talented actor.
I love Mindhunter. They're shooting a season 3. Well, I guess they're shooting season 3. I don't know about it, but anyway.
I heard they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So presidential debate tonight, 9 o'clock. We'll see how that goes. We can discuss that next time. So something else in the news locally here in Orlando. Walt Disney World announced that they're going to be laying off 28,000 people in the next 2 days. And that has been where I've been employed since I've been living back in Orlando here for my 7th anniversary would have been the first week in September. I've been furloughed since April. So
did they make an announcement today?
They did.
Okay,
First,
I missed it.
The head of all of Disney sent a letter out to everyone. And then it was followed up very quickly by the head of Walt Disney World sent out a letter just saying, hey, this might be coming. We just want you to know it was very hard. And I'm quite sure it was for everyone. So everyone's very nervous. But I really just have to think everything happens like it's supposed to. The universe will lead you or it will drag you.
Yeah.
And this has been a reset for so many people. I mentioned that Ears to You Facebook group, and it's all furloughed Disney employees that have all of these wonderful talents, amazing talents, like some of the artists, painters, bakers. So even entertainers, they're singers, but they do bake, and they're finding out how good they are at it. And I do think that this is, from an esoteric aspect, I think a real big jumping point for a lot of us. So that's just, if anybody's listening to this, either live now or in the recording, just have the faith that it's going to work out. And I have a feeling if we could see 6 months from now and look back, we wouldn't be as nervous as we are probably right now. My phone was literally blowing up this afternoon by people wanting to make sure that I heard the news. What did I think? What did I know? Here's some gossip, and it's just that it's all rumor and innuendo until we actually get a call or not. So, but my heart goes out to everyone. It's just a hard time. I wonder what Orlando's going to look like 6 months from now, if people aren't going to the restaurants. But by all accounts, if the governor swung the doors open, they may come back. It may get busy, but anyway, remains to be seen.
Well, we'll send positive energy, really positive energy, and pray every night.
Yeah.
Those people employed and furloughed and
not to be in fear. Just it'll work out somehow. We're even if it seems like that we're making a move that maybe we wouldn't have ordinarily made, maybe that's the universe's way of getting us there or them there, or just opening up a new door. And then this has not been the first time that there's been major purges at the theme parks either. And then they come back around a few years later, maybe even a year or two later, and everybody can apply for jobs again. And so for many people, it would not be the end of their career at Disney as well. So, okay. So going into some interesting things, you and I had talked about crime. I love true crime. I love unsolved mysteries. I love being able to analyze people as they're being interviewed, whether or not I think they're telling the truth, or things, that might seem odd or just seem a little bit off, things like that, and analyze it. So I started reading true crime, probably 28 years ago, I think. And some of it, I have to put it down for a while. Some of it's just awful. Like Mindhunter. When you really, it's a good show, but when you look into all the details about those murderers, what they did, it's really, really, really horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you had mentioned that you had a personal case, and it was a woman that had disappeared in Orlando about 14 years ago. And you gave me the brief details about that and said that it was something that was very close to your heart, and that you had always hoped that they would find her bodies, that they would find a remain, or at least know what happened to her. And then lo and behold, this week I happened to run into a stranger that I had a few minutes to spend talking to, and he breeds bloodhounds, and he gives the puppies to the police force, and says that he started doing that because he wished that when his neighbor disappeared years ago, that they had that available. And I knew as soon as he said it, that it was going to be the same person that you had mentioned, just because that's how coincidences work. Yeah. So I wanted to just thinking that maybe this is something that we could come up with. a different unsolved mystery or something like that on some of our shows. Talk about it, maybe just see if something new comes to you, as we talk about it, see if people have some comments, things like that, and then just kind of see where this leads us. But the case why don't you tell about the case?
Yeah, the young lady is Jennifer Cassidy. She was a friend of my daughter's. They were in the same sorority at UCF. And so Katie, our daughter, who works with the Attorney General in human trafficking, not in human trafficking, but you know what I mean, as a victim's advocate for victims of human trafficking. Katie had seen Jennifer about 2 weeks before, and it's as if she vanished off the face of the earth. I mean, somebody called. They finally got a picture of a suspect, and what they did, they found her car about a mile from her apartment or her condominium. She had purchased a condominium. It was gated up front, but in the back, it wasn't gated. They were still doing work. And I remember Jennifer, because I know Drew and Joyce. I don't know them well, but I've met them. They came to my daughter's wedding, Katie's wedding, and I got to talk to them for a little bit. And I contribute to the GoFundMe. And the amazing thing is, they found her car, and then the camera took a picture of the suspect walking away. But the camera only takes a picture every like 2 or 3 seconds. Someone called him the luckiest person of suspect alive, because they use NASA, everything and you can't make out. You can't make out if it's a man or a woman, quite honestly. It's just a slim build. And for every time the camera takes the picture, and he's walking behind some iron gates. And so I've always wanted to help do things like this, but anonymously. I don't think you should help, because psychics and people with gifts, they don't solve cases. The men and women, the police departments and detectives, they're the ones that solve the cases. I just compare what little work psychics and mediums and people like that do, is just loosening the jar. They come along and loosen the jar, maybe a little bit more, maybe, not always, maybe. And I kept getting this word pipeline in mind. Every time I think of Jennifer, I'd get pipeline. And Katie distributed thousands of flyers for months on end. They'd go in all the woods, and she had the poster. I had the poster in my office. She had the poster in her car that she drove, on both sides. And so, and then a few years later, I don't know when it was, Mariette, I'm sitting there watching a show about Jennifer Cassidy. It could have been not America's Most Wanted, but one of those shows where John Walsh puts on. And at the bottom scrolls an update on the Alaskan pipeline. And I went, this can't be a coincidence. There are no coincidences. There are dominoes that fall. There are things that fall into place. And I said, well, maybe this has something, but I never could get any further. So about 2 years ago now, it's about 2 years ago, I went on the website. I wanted to see if any mediums, because it's dangerous doing that work with the police, because the first thing they're going to ask is, well, wait a minute, how did you know all this information? Right. Which is the question I'd ask.
And what website is this that you refer to?
What's that?
What website was it that you looked at?
It was an update on Jennifer Cassidy. I think it could be jennifercassidy.com or .org or.
Oh, okay.
But there's a website
on Wikipedia, so we'll check that out too.
Yeah. And the amazing thing, this medium is talking about where she told the people that she firmly believed Jennifer was, and it was around John Young Parkway or something. And of all things, she saw Jennifer in a pipe. And it went, this can't be a coincidence. Because, when I do readings, and we've talked about this before, when you get images and stuff, I pay attention to the really random stuff. So I know it's not a memory or something I was thinking about at the time. And pipeline is something I never think about. And so I've got pipeline, and I've got the scrolling at the bottom of a show about Jennifer. And it's just one of those little scrolls, you get you know, if the weather's bad or something, and just scrolls. It was an update on the Alaskan pipeline. I said, you know, it's got to be something to that. And then this medium reveals that she was in a pipe. It was John Young, but I don't know that many people listened to her, you know. And then I was in preparation for this. I was getting prepped for Jennifer Cassidy to talk about Jennifer, because I haven't, other than I contribute every month to GoFundMe to help, you know, the Cassidys, because they're hiring now a private investigator. And so just thinking about Jennifer Cassidy, I'm looking on and I'm thinking about what that medium said about being in the pipe. I said, well, that doesn't make sense, because they said she was adopted at her apartment or her condo. But that's not true. If something happened a few years ago, they updated and said she was abducted on her way to work. And this medium said she got out and pumped gas and somebody got into the car, and that's how she was abducted. I'm like, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Now, to get her remains, unfortunately, you'd have to go kind of dig up concrete, and you better be sure, you know, that's going to cost a lot of money. But I think I'll go out. It was John Young, and I have to go back and find her. I don't know which medium. It was a medium in Orlando. Can't think of her name. But you know, these things, the universe puts like pieces of a puzzle. And all the Cassidys want to do is bring her home. That's it.
So if anybody listening to this live or, you know, recorded later has any ideas, any thoughts, any comments or questions or anything like that, send us an email to info@sanctuaryfl.com. And then we can kind of put them together and kind of, you know, look at where this might lead. You just never know. Like you said, it's just kind of revisiting it, looking at it maybe with fresh eyes. Some people do eventually talk sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know she's passed, or I was in a mediumship circle and she came through. She didn't come through me. She came through the medium. And one of the things the medium said, and this was years ago before I found that medium online that said she was in a pipe. And Jennifer came through and said thousands of cars passed by. And this area that this medium online was talking about was right off of I-4. And so I said, okay, these can't be coincidences. It must mean something. So anyway.
Okay, well.
Yeah, but there's, you know, it takes a lot of energy and sometimes to locate, and maybe somebody out there has energy or can meditate or can just say, show us a sign. Now, when Jennifer came through the medium group, she didn't want her parents to keep looking for, because it wasn't that important. But see, here on earth, to be a parent, I'm a parent, you're a parent, I'd keep looking until hell froze over.
Absolutely.
So I think Spirit understands that. We just want closure of some kind. And
you can see people on the other side so clearly, as I gave you confirmation from the last episode of our talk show that we did. There was a gal, and you could see her picture, because when I put the comments up there, when you can see the person's photo, and you said, you look exactly like this person that's crossed over. This is crazy that you look this much like this person. But what you didn't know was that their photo was the person that had crossed over.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I know that you can see on the other side so clearly. So do you think, or if not, why do you think that people on the other side don't just come to a medium and tell them who did it?
You know, what I've received on the other side is it's not important to them.
Interesting. Okay.
In other words, they see what we're going through, and they're filled with so much love and life, and depending on how high they ascended to levels of consciousness. And, you know, like Jennifer said, she helps people transition. And she was wearing pink. Pink was a color she was wearing. And almost like a pink bathrobe or something. Now, it's been a few years. It's probably in the circle. This was probably 5 or 6 years ago. So memory gets a little fuzzy over time. But, you know, because they see all the effort we're going to, and they said, instead of doing that, then why not do this? Why not pray? Why not meditate? Why not? Excuse me. It just doesn't seem important to them, quite honestly.
This is a great message for all of us because we think it's important because we're just here in the little fishbowl of life.
Yeah.
You know, whereas there's the whole universe and just higher things that we can't even comprehend, I don't believe, out there. And that's a good message for us, that what we think is important may not be what is in our highest good, or, you know, but I know that this is why you do the work that you do, is to help people.
Yeah,
people
absolutely. I would love to help locate missing people. I can give you the information I give, and I don't know, because people have asked me to find people, and is my son still alive? And I've done that, and they've come back and said, hey, you were right, but I don't call myself, I don't, you know what I'm saying? My gifts aren't developed enough to do that on a regular basis. Taking what we call a remote viewing, we talked about a 12-week remote viewing class from this person who's done presentations to the FBI headquarters, to the Marines, Quantico, and about using psych abilities. Her name is Deborah Lynn Katz, K-A-D-Z, and she's written some beautiful books on psychic abilities, and she does the International School of Clairvoyant. She does a lot of classes, and so we're going to be doing this.
I can't wait to talk about that. That's great.
Yeah, and so even though this class is more geared to finding things, because I've all the time gone, my mom left me this, and I can't find it. Can you find it? And then I'll just pass on the information. Sometimes I hear back, sometimes I don't, you know. But I want to be able to do that to help people, like missing children. Gosh, I just can't think of more
to
noble.
Summarize some of the important parts of her case, and then we're just about ready to take a short break, and then we'll actually you can answer some questions here for people. She had traveled to the Caribbean islands the week before.
St. Croix.
Right. Then she had a boyfriend. She had another ex-boyfriend who was interested in getting back together with her, but there was also a coworker who was interested in a relationship with her. And the police have to look at all of that. I understand that there was a lot of confusion between the fact that her car was found in a different county than her house, even though it was very close.
It's only a mile away from her townhouse.
Right. And she was very, very pretty, and by all accounts fits, you know, she was young, who human traffickers would traffic. And these aren't necessarily, these are very bad people and very wealthy people that do the human trafficking, that, you know, to that level. But typically it's a, you know, they just run, they grab, that's it. There's no car moved, there's no nothing. But when they found the car, the police did believe it had been cleaned, and that somebody took the time to drive it back to where it was, made me wonder, you know, about what had occurred. If it wasn't something more local, whether it was planned or not, whether it could have been a stranger. And then, as you said, there was a lot of construction people in her subdivision. You know, and it wasn't gated in the back, and there was a lot of opportunity for different people to have been involved, but a lot of people were cleared. The ex-boyfriend, the coworkers were all cleared, as was her current boyfriend. So anyway, we're just going to put that out there, see what comes of it. If somebody has any comments, you can comment on our Facebook on this recording, or our YouTube channel. And by the way, while I'm bringing it up, if you're watching us on Facebook, please go to our YouTube channel and give us a like. We need to have as many as we can to help us get more views. That's kind of how the algorithms work. So we would really appreciate that. Okay, so it is time for our advertisement segment. Have you got your book handy, Jerry?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay, there is your book. And where can they get a copy?
You can buy it online, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Out in the Cassidy area, you can get it at the Cassidy Hotel gift shop, Cassidy bookstore. Spiral Circle and Gypsy Apothecary sell my first book.
Okay.
But some of these bookstores and I understand, are not taking on new books. And so I've held off on reaching out to them.
Okay.
So I'm going to reach out to them, but yeah.
Okay.
And you can buy from our website. You'll get a signed copy, and it pays for shipping and handling.
There you go. And your website is right there, www.jmacmedium.com. People can find you there. And then here is the Sanctuary for Mind, Body, and Spirit website, and a link to our YouTube channel, our Facebook group are on there. And then we've also got updates. We've got blogs. We've got some of our past recordings on there. But our big news is Spirit Fest is coming up in Sarasota in just a couple weeks. October 9 and 10, that's a Friday and Saturday. We don't typically do them Friday and Saturday, but this is a weird year. So we went with what we could get. A lot of churches are utilizing meeting space now because they can't meet in their worship houses. So I'm going
to say goodbye to my grandson. Goodbye, Kellen.
Goodbye, Kellen.
For a couple minutes.
Aw. And well, I'm glad that you get to see him. It was so long that you got to see him for a while.
Oh, 8 months. Although he did come in one day dressed out in a doctor's outfit that my wife had gotten him for Christmas. And he had the fake thermometer and the fake needle. But one of the nurses had a real stethoscope. And because he had a fake stethoscope, he'd pretend to listen to my heart. And when she put the stethoscope on him and held it to her heart, I mean, his eyes just lit up because he was hearing a real heart. So it was good.
Cool. Well, good.
The innocence of youth.
We're getting there. We're getting back to normal, slow but sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Last but not least, Spirit Fest in Melbourne is October 31st, November 1st weekend. It's a full moon. It's Halloween. It's the Dia de la Muerta. Sorry?
All Saints Day.
Yes, All Saints Day. Yes, they're all that weekend. And I think that's a really auspicious weekend to be at Spirit Fest with a lot of different psychic readers, psychic mediums. So without any further delay, we will bring up a few questions for you. So what I told people is that you can either give them a message from Spirit, whatever you get, or if they had a specific question to let you know. So we will see what we get. So the first one is Raven.
Oh, wow. What a beautiful first name, Raven. Okay, so the first thing I'm getting, Raven, is there's a family member that seems to be distressed or in stress. I mean, in stress. Seem to be distressed or very stressed. And it's going to work out. It's going to be fine, but there's going to be some bumps in the road for this family member. And this family member who I feel, I'm trying to see if it's male or female. I think it's more male, more of a male energy. And this is not anybody that's passed. The male energy is seeking help. And either this male energy, and again, this is a family member or a real, the Spirit's now kind of clarifying that, or a real close friend that's like a family member. You know, because we have people who are like brothers and sisters. It's maybe someone who's like a brother to you or an uncle to you, but it's real close to you. And there's going to be a few more bumps in the road, so be prepared because Spirit's telling me you're a healer. You have many gifts. Healing is one of them. And just be careful because healing can drain you of energy. And you're a person who goes all in. And so when you're trying to offer help and put out some healing vibrations, nothing's more important than energy, vibrations, frequency. It's all secrets of the universe, right? And so this male is if he hasn't looked to you, he's going to be looking to you just to listen. Because as a healer, you're a very good listener. There's also another male, but this one's from the world of spirit. This is either father or grandfather. And he's talking about tobacco. So I don't know if he grew tobacco, if he smokes tobacco or, chewed tobacco, but tobacco seems to be a real big signal with him. He wants to know he misses you, loves you, and he loves the person you have become. He said, continue to stand up for what is right. And so he's very, very proud of you, very proud of you, gives you a big hug. So if you feel that chill, that's him hugging. And again, if it's a grandfather, he passed kind of young, or he looks young. So that's what I'm saying, a father, grandfather, like essence or spirit. And there's a P somewhere in his name. Not somewhere in the name, but a P seems to be prominent. Could be first, middle, could be a nickname, could be last name, of course.
She said that's her daddy.
Oh, that's her. Oh, good. Raven, I'm so glad.
And he smoked a pipe. She said she loved the smell.
Oh, there you go. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Raven.
Mm-hmm.
And keep doing the great work you're doing. You're helping to heal this world one person at a time, because that's what it's going to take, is one person at a time.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you, Raven.
Okay. Who have we got next? I believe it's pronounced cele. And I apologize if I didn't say that right. She would have a message from spirit.
Well, I'm glad you pronounced her name, because I would mess it up for sure. It's only 4 letters in the name, but I would mess it up. I see a job shift. And at first, a job shift may look risky or may look unfavorable to you, but it's going to pay out. And I say pay out, it's going to bring dividends to you. I'm hearing better benefits, financial, of course. Spirit always talks about cars. It's almost like it's time to get another car. Of course, they're just giving them away. So why don't you just go to the corner and pick up one? Pick up Mary Ellen one, and one for me as well.
Sure.
But it's almost like there's some problems or troubles with the car. And, a lot of times and I've had a lifelong history of cars. Cars and I do not get along. They get along with my wife, Mary, very well. They don't get along with Jerry very well. And sometimes when you're looking to do things for your car, it costs as much as going out and buying another car, which is probably the last thing. Now, if you just went out and got a car, that wouldn't make sense. But I'm just hearing something about a car. It's time for a car. Or it's not just a tune-up or tires. It could be engine, transmission, something like that that costs a little bit. And and watch the brakes. Spirit says watch the brakes. One more thing for her. There's a female on the other side. Now, this has a more sister-like vibration, more sister-like essence. Don't ask me why I do this. I just do this. So it's more sister-like essence. It could be an aunt, could be a friend who is like a sister to you. I think this is a friend. She calls you sis, but she's proud. She's looking forward to your next chapter in life. And I don't know if it's a relationship or your career we just talked about. Not sure what you do. I'm looking at your picture, and absolutely unbelievable smile. There's so much energy. And so you look at a glass half full and not the glass half empty. And so Spirit says, continue to do that. And this friend or this sister, okay, I'm sorry. A lot of times when I see an aunt, it means your mom's or dad's sister, obviously. And so it could be that, but person doesn't look that old. Now, I'm 65, so people in their 50s don't look that old to me, okay? But she is very, very proud of you. And she said the situation recently, this could be a relationship, where she said you stood your ground. You stood up for what is right, just like Raven just got through doing. And stick to your guns. And that's a dangerous thing to say. I don't mean that, but that's an old saying that means stick to what you believe is right, no matter how many people say it isn't so. Your intuition is very strong, so you know what is right and you know what is wrong. Mm-hmm. So keep listening to your intuition. Keep listening to your intuition.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Good message. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to take a drink of water or anything, or take a breath, or shall we?
I have my water right here.
So even if you don't get a personal message, often Spirit works through other people, and you hear what you're supposed to hear tonight. So,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. think I'll have one as well. I made some green tea.
There you go.
I was saving the cocktail for the debate.
Oh, there you go. I wish. I think my wife would be drinking cocktails during the debate as well.
Okay, Nicole would like a message from Spirit.
Oh, I know Nicole. Hey, Nicole. Oh my God, look at those! I love those wings. Yeah, she is a strong, spirited woman, spirit-filled woman. And really, Nicole, I'm looking at the next Spirit immediately went to the next phase of all your gifts. Your psychic, your mediumship. I think you sense auras. You see the light around people. You sense when people are past. You sense them near you, and that's a gift. I don't have that gift. My wife does, but I don't. And so a lot of these gifts, I don't know if you're in a mediumship or meditation circle of any kind, but Spirit says if you can get into that, Nicole, that's what really brought my gifts to the front of my life, really. I attended a weekly mediumship meditation circle every week for 4.5 years, however long it was. And that's where I developed my gifts. I know your gifts are developed. And either you do readings right now or you're getting ready to do readings. And, I always say before I do a reading, because I'm real analytical, so sometimes some doubt seeps in there. I'm human. So I always say, cleanse your thoughts, ease your fears, and erase your doubts, and you'll be good. And Spirit wants you to keep a dream journal, because I think you're seeing things to come. You're seeing some prophecies to come. Doesn't mean you caused them. I had somebody who was really afraid because they could see it that they caused it. No, you didn't cause it.
Mm-hmm.
Energies in the universe and people making choices. That's life. That's what happens, but you don't cause it. Someday, I don't know, Nicole is already an author, or am I getting author with her real strong? Either she's written a book or two, or I'm seeing 2 books. If you haven't written a book yet, Nicole, there'll be 2 books, at least 2 books for you to write. If I can write one, anyone can, if you'll just let go. And you're a person who goes all in, and keep meditating. I sense you do meditate. So you're doing a better job than I am recently. So keep meditating. And that more will be revealed to you in the silence. I always say when it's quiet, we hear everything. When we hear nothing, we hear everything. We hear everything we're supposed to hear. We drown out the noise. That's why I want this year to get over with. Just too much noise. Yeah. Gosh, it's too much noise. So anyway, Nicole, I'm going to leave that with you, and thank you.
Do you know of any local medium circles that are going on now, or that, where would someone who wanted to pursue?
Always, a lot of them are meetups, and my wife and I kind of stumbled into one because the person who was cleaning our house is a medium, probably the strongest medium I've ever, and she's been doing it all of her life. Mm-hmm. But I mean, she was in the military, she was in the Air Force, and she did things other than give readings and stuff. And so she invited us one time, and and you can start your own. I miss it, I really do. Mm-hmm. I stepped away to do more writing and more readings and more events, so I had to step away. And most of the circle at that point was Hispanic, and I don't speak Spanish. And we had an interpreter; she was very good. Mm-hmm. But you just feel, you kind of feel out of place a little bit when you don't understand the language. And but they were all great people. Still friends with most of them. There's a few of them that I haven't heard from and haven't kept up with. But I always go on meetups and see if they're meetup. Now, some people charge, like $25 a month, and I don't know. I feel that's too much. Mm-hmm. A lot of people now don't have $25. But Open Arms Spiritual Church that I speak at, and you can go to could be .com or .org. If it's non-profit, it's got to be .org, right? So, and they have a meditation class, It's every Monday or Tuesday, and I think they ask for a love offering of like $5.
Okay.
And it's a way to develop your energy. It really is. It's a fantastic way to develop your energy and to be able to read people and have the confidence to read people in a circle that won't judge you.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, it's a great question. I was just thinking.
If anyone listening or is watching us right now live or even in recording would be interested in a meditation group or a mediumship group, please either comment or send us an email to the info@Sanctuary.fl. It was something that we had talked about doing, but before the pandemic, of course, but now everything's legal in Florida, so we can do whatever we want now. But the cooler weather does make it easier to meet in groups because then you can sit outside.
Absolutely.
Much safer. So, okay, we'll get to a couple more readings, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, she
Great
said,
seeing you. Love the wings. Love the wings.
Yeah, Mexico says on there that's where she took those. Okay. The next person that would like a reading message is Michelle. She would like a message from Spirit.
Oh, I love the way her first name is spelled. It's almost French. Michelle Jean. I don't know French, so I'm not going to try with a French accent. I don't want to insult anybody. Strong male presence from the world of spirit. This has a father or father-in-law or father-like figure essence to it. It's pointing to his upper body. It's pointing to, if you see me, Michelle, it's pointing up here, like maybe that's how he passed. Now he's pointing to his veins. When I see veins, Michelle, I'm looking at, it doesn't have to necessarily be a blood disorder or anything with the blood. It could be cholesterol, it could be diabetes, something that goes through the veins. And or it could be a blood clot, but he's up here. It's almost above the heart. It may be in the heart, but it's almost above the heart. So if you see me, misses you terribly. He's talking about eye surgery, whether that's your eye surgery or his eye surgery. He's talking about eye surgery. And maybe that's a way for you to recognize who he is. He's twirling a tennis racket. It's odd. Yeah, he's twirling a tennis racket. And so, but he's not indicating whether he played tennis or you played tennis or he had a passion for watching tennis. But he's twirling, he's got one of these, I used to play a lot of tennis. I don't anymore. He's got one of these rackets that has a kind of where you can put your finger and twirl, not the old rackets that you couldn't do that with. And so a lot of times that's a symbol, a clairvoyant symbol of games. And in other words, if I see somebody, Michelle, who's doing tennis, then ping pong, then basketball, then baseball, that's my symbol. We're done with Spirit says, don't play games. And normally it's don't play games with your health. Okay. So Spirit is showing me something. It's you in a grave sitting up. Now don't be concerned. Okay. Because that's my symbol for you feeling suffocated, like people throwing dirt on you. It's very symbolic. It's not literal, it's symbolic. And feeling suffocated by how one or two people have been treating you. And this is going to come to an end here very soon. And you got beautiful energy around you. You're positive. And I don't know if this is a work condition or what environment. It's an environment that Spirit says it's very hard to stay positive. And there's some negative people around, and which I'm sorry about that. And I'm also sorry about your loss. If this is your father. But yeah. So Michelle, I'm going to leave that with you. I know it's kind of disjointed. It's all over the place, but first of next year, the COVID-19, this gentleman saying it's time to take a trip, get away from the craziness and relax.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons you're so drained, sometimes so drained at the end of the day, because you're also a healer. And so it's difficult for a healer when people either don't want to be healed or don't think they need to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
That's difficult, and it leaves you drained. So be sure and protect yourself in the morning and evening. I do it with a prayer, and so that no negative energies can come in and attach themselves to me. And I just pray to God, says, give me energy, give me strength, give me energy, raise my vibrations, increase my frequencies, so I can reach the higher realms of consciousness in the spirit world. So anyway,
beautiful.
All right, hope that helps, Michelle, and thank you.
All right, well, thank you for that. Now we've got time for one, maybe two more, and I wanted to remind people, somebody had asked a question here. When we had our physical location in Memphis, we had several readers that read at our store fairly regularly, and one was there all of the time, and somebody asked about him. And I am not sure where he lives now. He does not live in Memphis anymore, and I'm not sure where he lives or if he's even doing readings, but he was really good. Jerry is fantastic. He is every bit that good. And I find you more of a medium. He was a really good psychic. He could kind of pull it out of the air. You see and talk to people on the other side. So I wanted to remind people where they can find you after this show. If you don't get picked for a personal question tonight, that you have availabilities for readings and your prices are extremely reasonable, especially compared to a lot of other fantastically good people.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And as we discussed, I am from Memphis. I was born in Memphis, lived there 32 years. That's where I met my wife. She was a graduate of, back then, we called it Memphis State University. We still call it Memphis State University. We don't call it University of Memphis. We refuse to call it University of Memphis. It's Memphis State, MSU.
That's funny.
Go Tiger.
I feel that was where you met. That's really neat.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. Okay. All right. Let's go to, and I'm looking for where she posted. Here we go. Jessica.
So that's her dad on left-hand side, I assume. Okay. Good looking guy. He's got more hair on his beard than I do in my head. Oh. Do we have a name?
Jessica, can you give your dad's name, his first name, or what you call it? Yeah.
Or initial. Initial is fine.
Okay.
And I'll still try to.
Oh, she said that's her husband next to her in the picture.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good looking guy.
Still, what is your dad's name or initials? Remember, we're on the delay, so.
Yeah, understand.
Oh, his name is Jesse.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So Jessica is Jesse's girl. Sorry, that was a Rick Springfield song. Sorry. I always try to draw music into it. Okay, so he's shown himself as Jesse Ventura, the wrestler and the governor of Minnesota, Jesse Ventura. So it says Jesse there. Now, I'm not asking for Jesse Ventura. I think he's still alive, but it's for this Jesse. And he's wearing, there's some significance about his belt. I don't know if it's a belt, big belt buckle, or, like he's from Texas or something, or, because they wear the big belt buckles there. But there's something about his belt that is unique. It may have something etched in, on the, around it, like people etch their names or put their names or something. But there's something significant. It could be snake skin or something. And I don't know how old he was. He doesn't look that old, but he's talking about, and I hear that Jesse's girl. He's calling you his daddy's girl. So, 'cause, 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 ' he snaps his finger like that. Now to him, that is, he was here one day, gone the next. Now I know that happens, but to him it was quick. When they snap their fingers, it's kind of quick. You know, like I was here and then I was gone. He's not in any pain. And he's doing something around. I don't know if he wore hats like your husband, but he's doing something around. He's going.
She said that that's her brother. He's also named Jesse, and he had a big buckle because he loved wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, I got the wrong Jesse, but
well, you just said Jesse.
just said Jesse, and your brother. Well, no wonder you're named Jessica. I mean, oh gosh, that's your brother. Now her brother's passed. Is that correct? I assume that's correct.
He's passed as well. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so your brother, Jessica, your brother's saying, I'll get dad. He goes, sis, I'll get dad. Dad, come here, come here. Now, he's walking kind of slow. He's not in any pain, but he needs help with the leg, something with the leg. It could be a cane, it could be, or something with the leg. Not quite sure. And he's only doing that for validation from you, that you know it's him. It's not validation from me. But he turned around and said, Dad, you know, Jessica, but it's almost like there was a pet name, not a pet name, I'm sorry. What do we call them? What am I trying to say? Like a different name for you. And I can't think of the word. Just Mariana, what word am I thinking of?
She's saying that this is right on. That
okay.
The word, a nickname.
Nickname.
Okay.
Thank you. Crisis averted. He talks how of course he talks how, as a father would, lovingly, how beautiful you are. I don't know if he was on heavy medication. He shows me with a needle going through his arm. Now, when I see that in the past, alone with no body attached, no face attached, it normally is a sign for addiction. I don't think it is in this case. I just think Sean may have had shots. I don't see the pills, but I don't know if he was heavily medicated toward the end of his life, but and he shows me pain going up and down, up and down. But he sure misses you. He's around you a lot. I don't know if you guys have an animal, like a dog or a cat. I think it's a dog, because he's talking about he talks to the dog. So if you don't have a dog, I don't know which dog he's talking to, but he mentions the dog sees him. Does she have a dog? I don't know.
Let's see. Yes, she does.
Okay. She have more than one?
Jessica?
Because I see two, so I don't know if it's dog and a cat or two dogs or... But he definitely said, I'm talking to the dog, as if there's maybe an alpha dog.
She said yes, she does have more than one.
They do have more than one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know which dog he...
Two dogs, two cats.
But the dog that he talks to sees him. So if you see your dog looking up, you know, and you're like, what are they doing? They're of a different level. Mariella can tell you that they're a different level, different than we are. They're more sensitive. They're more grounded. They see things we don't. They sense things we don't. Mm-hmm. And so he loves the home that you and your husband have made for yourself. I don't know if you have any children. He's not talking about children yet, but so, and he said, this is going to scare you, Jessica. It's almost time to move. Oh boy, nobody likes to move. So I've been thinking about a move. It's going to be good. Or if you just moved, then he missed it somehow. But he's like, it's almost time to move. Because he see things expanding. It's almost like your husband too has his own business. I don't know if he does, but spirits, if he doesn't, he needs to soon start a business. He's talented in a couple of different ways. So I see that. And your dad loves you, blows you a kiss. He's around you guys a lot. Is her mom still living? I don't see her. If she's passed, I don't see her.
Let's see if she says. Now, she told me what the nickname is, but I'll not tell you. See if.
Yeah. Nicknames are, I just know when I say somebody's name like that, it sounds different, like there's a nickname associated with it. But I'm not.
Yes, she is still with us, her mother.
Okay. That's explain why. So the only thing I'm getting when the nickname starts with an F. You're not gonna believe the name I heard. I heard Frankfurter. I know that's not your nickname. Frankfurter.
Food.
Is it close? Oh my God.
Food, yeah.
So anyway, that's what I have for you, Jessica. Your dad is doing really well. I don't know if he passed a long time ago. I sense it's 3 to 5 years, something, even though for you, and it probably seems like just the other day. So, but thank you. And thank you for allowing me. And of course, as with all these people, I'm sorry for your losses. It never gets any easier. Time doesn't heal every wound. And just know that they're nearby, and you don't need me to connect. I'm honored if you do, but you don't need me to connect. You can communicate with your loved ones. So anyway.
There is, and I hope that after the show's over that you can look at the comments that people are leaving. They think that you are wonderful, and
that's nice.
Yeah, and they've gotten out a lot out of this. And there's a lot of people that asked for messages that we didn't get to tonight. So I do hope that they'll consider going to your website and checking out getting a reading with you. But you'll be back in 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, yeah, and we'll have some interesting stuff to talk about as well as get to some readings. And, we appreciate so much the work that you do helping people.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Just a reminder, our website, please go to the website. You can sign up to be on our email list. We don't send out very many emails. And would really appreciate it if you would go to our YouTube channel for those of us watching us on Facebook and give us a like. And we do stream live over there as well. So anyway, thank you, everybody. We really appreciate you being with us.
Thank you. Stay safe and God bless.
Yes. Stay safe, everybody. Jerry, hang out for just a minute with me, and everybody else, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.